Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. It's Friday once more, and it's a very interesting Friday. I'd almost argue a special Friday, but it's not like it's an actual holiday. That was yesterday, which was Thanksgiving, and hopefully everybody that was out there celebrating it, at least here in the United States, had a nice one. But no, today is Black Friday, and while it is just an excuse for people to go shopping, and some of us remember the heyday of staying up all night and going to the stores at 2 in the morning to go line up for whatever crazy doorbuster deals there were in the days before the internet. No, these days Black Friday means a lot more to certain fans of certain games, of which I am a particular big one, and I'm talking about Kingdom Death. So this book in front of me is actually a book that doesn't exist, at least in physical form. What we have here is The Art of Death, which was a PDF file that I want to say was finally released around the time of the Gamblers, no, not the Gamblers, just the Lantern Festival, the original expansions being canceled. Somebody out there, if you want to correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember the exact timeline of everything, but we did get the PDF file after everything was finished, after the game was delivered, after the expansions showed up. What does that mean? So, what this was kind of like a behind-the-scenes look with actual commentary from Adam Poots about how a lot of this artwork was developed, where it came from, who did it, so on and so forth. And I remember looking at this at the first time on my computer and thinking how much it reminded me of one of the very first art books I got, Masamune Shirow's Intron Depot. And now that I think about it, that would actually be a pretty cool one to actually go back and revisit. So, how do I have this in front of me? Well, my ever-industrious brother decided, who was an original backer, if I remember correctly, for like a Dragon King armor or something ridiculous. Or a Slender Man, I don't remember. Not that he's painted it, mind you. I'll just remind everybody that. How many years later? 10, 11 years? Anyways, he took this over to one of the local print stores, got it professionally bound, and at the time got it printed at the highest resolution that they offered. Now, I'm not a big fan of having the semi-glossy pages, but that's just me. But it is actually cool to see this in a physical format. Yeah, it's fun to flip through and click on and zoom in and zoom out with your mouse wheel, but it's just not the same as actually having a physical presence. So it's about 100 pages or so. You can see here we have a breakdown of the contents. And I will say this, most of the artwork, if you already own the game, should be very familiar to you. But what's really interesting about it is that we get the background ideas of where this stuff was coming from. I don't remember this actually being on the shirt. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Maybe that was for the very first... oh, what was that guy called? I can't think of his name. I just started working on him too. The Forsaker. The Forsaker was the very first figure, if I am remembering correctly. So we're just going to kind of glance through it. I want to say some of these settlements are also from the expansions. That's the Plumery, I know that. And again, to me, getting to see what he was thinking behind all this was what was really interesting and exciting to me. Plus, you can sit there and really just kind of pore over the details, whereas the actual cards, you know, you're kind of having a very compact area. And that's another thing that's always, you know, been a stickler for me, is getting to appreciate artwork that actually gets condensed and smushed onto those cards. Me being a big fan of all of the various trading card games and the various artists that work on those, so it's kind of cool to see this stuff a little bit larger than life. Can't go wrong with any of the Danny Cruz art. Now this one I don't remember exactly. That's because it says right here it is an unused illustration. I was like, this does not look familiar. I remember when Danny Cruz's art seemed to be in like every interesting and exciting Kickstarter. And for good reason. The guy's a talented artist. Now this is what I wish we had more of in this book. Concept art. There is a little bit here and there, but not enough to really, make me satisfied. So it is kind of nice to see where this stuff started, but I would absolutely love to have an opportunity to have maybe an actual book, kind of in a similar format to the hardcover instructions, rule books, whatever you want to call them. But the design of death. We've got the art of death here. I would absolutely love a design of death showing all the unused stuff. I mean, probably they don't want to release all that because if people were smart, they would absolutely be plundering that for ideas. But oh man, I don't know about you guys, Lockman Lamb's colored work that was in the manual, it gives off such Katsuya Terada vibes. His old Legend of Zelda illustrations just absolutely gives me that same kind of feeling. Should be a very, very familiar sight to many of you who are probably up all night on Black Friday clicking like mad. Again, just need to see all this stuff really blown up larger than life. I often forget about some of these little things, like all of the various roaches crawling around. Some of the faces and stuff that are in the backgrounds. Oh, butcher. So I'm just kind of skipping around here. Obviously, we're not going to show off everything. But then again, I don't even know where you can even get a hold of this now. I don't even know where I have my PDF file of this. That was maybe 1 or 2 computers ago. Maybe I have it on a flash drive somewhere. Maybe it's on a zip drive. I don't know. Again, nice that we do have all of the artists recognized. I'm sure that's a big point. I always like this. In fact, I hadn't really noticed before that the arms are coming out of the eye sockets. But that's just me. Our intimacy couple. Funny how this guy shows up. Little did we all know what we were getting ourselves into, right? I mean, obviously he's on the tokens and stuff. But we do have a little bit of the background idea about what he was thinking with this whole style. Personally, I would absolutely love some official SD style Kingdom Death figures. But I'm probably in the minority on that. Unfortunately. So we're getting towards the end here. Now again, getting flashbacks to all those old video game manuals as a kid, all the Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest, where they had all the item breakdowns, Grand Blue Fantasy, the extra archives, any of the Grand Blue Grand Blue Fantasy art books. I've put a video up or 2, I think, on them. I have tons of artwork of all of the items and stuff in the games. But here again, we're finally starting to see some of the concepts behind this. And for somebody who wants to paint these and actually finally getting to see what the suggested colors are, is a godsend. Of course, I've already painted all these, and I painted all these years ago, so that doesn't do me a whole lot of good at this point. But this, I have yet to finish a single Phoenix set, so that is kind of nice to see. I would love to see more of the color work, color breakdowns, design work for this stuff. But that's just my own personal preference. As I've said, I am a big fan of design books, graphic design, all the stuff that goes into this. I mean, this is mostly... Now, that one I don't recognize. I don't remember seeing that, but it's been a while since I busted out the game, and my fighting art choices may not have reflected that. The Leather Queen. And then the end of the book is basically just a quick photo set of when Jacques-Alexandre Guillaume, if I am saying that correctly, was coming up with this monstrosity in the days before CG sculpting. And again, I'm just going to keep saying this. Somebody needs to plant that earworm in Poots about getting a design of Death Book put together. Hopefully, as I'm filming this, we are all going to be very happy and satisfied with what we get this Black Friday. Of course, I'm still sitting here waiting for my Halloween stuff to ship, but that's a different story. We'll save that one for another time. Hopefully, you guys found what you were looking for. Hopefully, you guys are all having a fun and enjoyable holiday weekend for those of you who are celebrating, and hopefully, you didn't spend too much money that your parents, wives, spouses, significant others, boyfriends, girlfriends, children, whatever, are going to be quite upset with you. I was very good this year, I might add, so kudos to me. Anyways, like I said, I have absolutely no idea how to get a hold of this thing now. Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe you can try messaging. I don't want to start getting in trouble with the dark mediators. Maybe they might know. Maybe somebody can just ask Poots in the comments. I have no idea, but just a kind of a fun recollection of seeing where a lot of this stuff came from. And again, we need more of it. So, with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.